Hi. A lot of nice people tell me they would definitely like to get stronger to increase their health and make it easier to do fun stuff. Well, I definitely agree. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a few videos with tips on how 50 plusers can get stronger anywhere. Hi, I'm Kevin, your 70 plus host for Loving 50 Plus channel. Well, one day I was running along a path in beautiful Mill Creek Park, covering ground like one of those cheetahs chasing a gazelle in one of those old Wild Kingdom TV shows. Well, truth be told, maybe I was just walking along at a healthy and moderate pace. But I noticed an amazing kids' playground in the center of the park. Lots of climbing and slides and swings, but I was surprised to see they also had installed exercise stations for adults. Why not? Why should the kids have all the fun? I believe if we're able to keep our sense of play with all the energy we did as kids, we'll live stronger, healthier, and happier lives. Now, adult playgrounds like the one I'm going to show you, they're great to satisfy your cardio work. You know, you walk along the path and everything else with a good jog and provide dedicated stations for strength training. Now, the strength training equipment here is from the good folks at Landscape Structures. I think it's the world leader in commercial playground equipment. Now, before you go, there's a couple of tips you got to do. Number one, you got to bring a hydration bottle. And, you know, we used to call them water bottles in the old days. You also have to put on sunscreen, no matter what. You also have to look for the restrooms. That's what a guy my age does. You look for the restrooms first. There's one over there. But you also go with a partner. If you're going out in a park or whatever, you got to go with somebody to keep an eye on you and help each other out and encourage each other. Now, these strength building stations I'm going to show you give good signage with basic tips for proper use. But what about how many sets to do? How many times should I do it? The number of repetitions of each strength building exercise and the number of sets you do is dependent on several factors. Number one, ask your doctor before getting started. If you have a shoulder ache, you may want to avoid, for instance, the push-ups, even though the diagram doesn't show you're working the deltoid muscle, the shoulder, but trust me, if they're a little achy, you're going to feel it when doing push-ups. Now, if your knees are a little achy, you might want to avoid, weighted squats. Maybe you're comfortable doing them without the machine, but first of all, you want to find out why they're achy. So, all these exercise stations are designed for the average person. And you might not be the average person. I know how special you are. You're 50 plus. So the first thing you do is tell your doc about some aches, and they may tell you to see a physical therapist to find out why your knees or whatever is achy. Check first. Number two, okay, if you've got the okay from the doc, the physical activity guidelines for Americans from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services are really the go-to source. And they tell us that when using resistance training, start with one set of 8 to 12 repetitions each. But over time, increasing to 2 or 3 sets may be effective. But say you're in a neighborhood park and you're getting tired at 5, 6, 7 reps. First of all, that's too much resistance. Turn it down. You've got a little knob for resistance on there. But listen to this. If your neighbor happens to walk by, the one with the sports car with the loud exhaust, it always goes through your neighborhood. I want you to say out loud, 18, 19, 20. Wow, that's getting easy. Time to add more weight. I'm kidding, of course, but believe me, at 50 plus, strength tops loud exhaust every time. Now, like I said, if you can only do 5, 6 repetitions, dial down the exhaust. The idea here is one set of 8 to 12 reps. Walk to the next station. One set of 8 to 12 reps. On to the next station. We'll look at some of these things and get some ideas on them. Now, rest a couple of days, and definitely if a muscle is achy, wait a bit longer and call your doctor. Let your body recover. Next time, one set of 8 to 12 repetitions, rest for a minute. Then a second set of 8 to 12 repetitions, rest for a second, walk to the next station. Now here's the exciting part. As if all this strength training wasn't exciting enough. When you can do a set of 8 to 12 repetitions on each strength building station with no aches or pains, next time out, try giving your resistance a little boost by turning the knob. Try for 8 to 12 repetitions for 2 sets per station. If you can't do it, dial the knob down a little bit. If any of your friends are asking what you're doing out there, probably say, It's PRE, of course, progressive resistance exercise. Now you're on your way to a stronger, firmer, and fitter body. So we're gonna check with our doc, get our sunscreen on, go with a friend, and we'll be all set. Okay, strength training. Let's start with chest. What I've noticed about this machine, you get yourself rear end all the way back against a pad, and if you're used to holding a regular bar when you're working out, put your hands here, press it out, but there's also resistance on the way back. So press it out, resistance on the way back. A good set, 8 to 12 reps. Right now we're at the pull-up station. Couple of tips from there. First of all, I mentioned before, you see some of these politicians and everything else and these TV people doing these little jerky pull-ups. That's not a pull-up. Here's a pull-up. You hang all the way down, up, 1, all the way down, 2, all the way down, 3, all the way down, 4, all the way down, 5, all the way down. Now normally, obviously, I do 50, a couple of hundred here. But actually, if you have trouble doing a pull-up, do partials. Keep on your feet. Now I'm pushing a little bit up with my legs and down. A little bit up with my legs and down. That's gonna work your lats and your back a lot and still build you up to the point that maybe someday you do a regular pull-up. Then you do regular push-ups like this, but it's not like doing it from the flat thing. And what I found for a lot of my friends, if they got a little bit of, let's say, tummy on there, this is a lot easier than doing them on the floor and trying to jam your stomach against the floor. And obviously another one, a little lower bar too. Everything's gradual. Take your time. Now thanks for watching Loving 50 Plus. I appreciate you being here, and please click subscribe to keep us going. And maybe leave a comment. What you want for your body, for your life, is what Loving 50 Plus is all about. I'm Kevin, your host. See you in our next video, and please take care of yourself.